God just removed a curse that was blocking your blessings. Freedom is here. Listen carefully, my child, because this moment is not accidental and this message did not wander into your life by chance. It was released at the exact second your spirit could finally receive it, and I need you to feel the weight of that truth right now. Do you sense how something feels different even as these words reach you? I am speaking directly to you, my beloved, not to the crowd, not to the masses, but to the one who has been wondering in silence why doors kept closing even when you did everything right. And I must warn you gently but urgently, do not skip this, because what is being revealed now is the key that explains years of confusion, pain, and delay. Have you been asking yourself why blessings seemed so close yet never fully arrived? I am telling you now, as a divine interruption, the blockage was not your effort, not your worth, not your faith, but a spiritual weight that was never meant to stay, and I have removed it. Pause for a second and breathe that in. Can you feel a release in your chest or a quiet calm spreading through your thoughts? This is not imagination, this is confirmation. You were marked early, chosen one, and because of that marking, resistance followed you, opposition tried to cling to your steps, but hear me clearly, that season has ended, and if you feel a sudden wave of emotion rising right now, tears you cannot explain or relief mixed with disbelief, tell me honestly, does it feel like something heavy just lifted off your life? Type Amen if you feel that weight breaking, because engagement seals awareness, and awareness accelerates manifestation. I need to alert you again, do not look away, do not scroll, because I am about to expose why certain patterns repeated and why they stop now, and this is where many miss their moment. Have you noticed how the same type of setback kept showing up right when breakthrough was close? That was not coincidence, but listen carefully, the authority over that cycle has been revoked, and what once had access no longer does. My child, I see the nights you questioned yourself, the prayers whispered with exhaustion, the quiet thought of maybe this is just how life will always be. Have you ever wondered why you felt blocked even while praying sincerely? I am reassuring you now, you were never abandoned, you were protected while the timing aligned, and now protection is shifting into permission. Type yes if you hear my voice speaking peace into you right now. This is a renewal point, and I must stir urgency again, because the moment after freedom is where destiny accelerates, and if you miss this awareness, you delay what is already released. Do you believe this message found you on purpose? The curse was subtle, hidden, generational in nature, but do not fear that word, because what was inherited without consent can be removed by authority, and I have done so, and as I say this, notice what memories are surfacing. Are you suddenly remembering patterns in your family line or past that now make sense? This is revelation unfolding. Listen carefully, my beloved, because now hope must replace hesitation, and I am calling you to expect movement quickly, even suddenly, even unexpectedly. Can you allow yourself to believe that ease is finally allowed in your life? Type freedom if you are ready to walk without that invisible resistance anymore. I am placing another hook before you, because what is coming next requires attention. There are signs you will notice in the coming days, small at first, but undeniable, and if you ignore them, you may doubt what I am doing. Have you already started seeing unusual confirmations or delays resolving themselves without effort? Do not be afraid, this is alignment correcting itself. I repeat for your spirit, this is not random, you must hear this, your identity was never cursed, only obstructed, and obstruction has been lifted. Stay with me, because what happens next will shock you. And as that shock begins to settle into your spirit, I need you to stay alert, my child, because freedom always exposes what was hidden and acceleration always reveals who was watching you struggle. Do you feel that slight tension mixed with excitement right now? Listen carefully, because now that the barrier is gone, movement will feel unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable at first, and many mistake that discomfort for danger, but I am warning you ahead of time so you do not retreat. Have you ever noticed how right before things change, your mind tries to pull you back into old expectations? This is not a setback, this is adjustment. Don't skip this, because I am speaking to the exact fear that tries to rise when blessing finally has permission to enter. My beloved, you were conditioned to survive under resistance, so ease may feel suspicious, but tell me honestly, can you sense that your season of fighting is ending? Type yes if you feel peace replacing pressure, because naming it anchors it. I am releasing another revelation now, and it will explain something that puzzled you for a long time. There were moments when opportunities appeared but somehow slipped away, relationships that seemed promising but faded, plans that almost worked. Do you remember how confusing that felt? That was the residue of what I have now removed, and I need you to understand this deeply so you do not blame yourself anymore. Have you been carrying guilt for things that were never yours to carry? I am lifting that too. Listen carefully, chosen one, because now discernment is being sharpened, and you will begin to notice who benefits from the old version of you staying stuck. Have you already sensed certain people becoming uncomfortable with your clarity? Do not fear that shift, it is proof of growth. Type Amen if you are ready to choose alignment over approval. I must interrupt again with urgency, because the next phase arrives quietly, not loudly, and those who expect fireworks sometimes miss divine whispers. Are you willing to pay attention to subtle guidance instead of waiting for dramatic signs? My child, I am guiding your steps now with precision, and delays will shorten, answers will come faster, and doors will open with less resistance. Can you imagine what it feels like to move without constantly being pushed back? Let that image sit in your heart. This is not random, this is restoration. I see you recalibrating your expectations, learning to trust progress without chaos, and that alone will change how you pray, how you plan, how you rest. Have you noticed your prayers becoming calmer, more confident lately? That is alignment speaking. Type peace if your spirit feels steadier than it used to. I must warn you gently again, do not announce everything too early, because protection still surrounds what is forming, and not everyone needs access to what I am building through you. Have you felt an inner nudge to stay quiet about certain developments? That is wisdom rising. Listen carefully, my beloved, because soon you will face a choice between familiar struggle and unfamiliar ease, and the old version of you might hesitate, but I am telling you now so you choose correctly. Will you allow yourself to receive without apology? This is the moment where identity catches up to destiny. Stay with me, because the truth I haven't revealed yet will change everything. And as that unspoken truth begins to stir within you, I need you to remain completely present, because what unfolds now is where many are tempted to doubt what they just received, and I refuse to let you fall into that trap. Do you feel that subtle voice trying to question whether this is real? Listen carefully, my child, because doubt often speaks loudest right after deliverance, and that does not mean freedom failed, it means resistance has lost its grip and is making noise on the way out. Have you noticed how your thoughts are being challenged even as your spirit feels lighter? Don't skip this, because clarity is arriving and confusion will try to interrupt it. I am telling you now with divine authority, what has been removed cannot return unless you invite it back through fear, and I know fear has been a long companion for you. hasn't it? Tell me honestly, have you grown so used to guarding yourself that peace feels unfamiliar? This is why I am speaking gently but firmly. You no longer need to brace for impact, and learning to relax will be part of your healing. Type 1 Receive if you are ready to stop anticipating loss. My beloved, I am revealing something sacred now. The moment the blockage lifted, your spiritual senses sharpened, and that is why you may suddenly feel more aware of energy, intentions, and hidden motives. Have you felt more sensitive lately, picking up on things you used to ignore? That is not weakness, that is discernment returning to its rightful place. Listen carefully, because with discernment comes responsibility, and you must choose not to entertain what drains you. Do you feel an inner conviction to step back from certain conversations or environments? That is protection guiding you. Type protected if you feel surrounded even when you are alone. I must interrupt again with urgency, because a window has opened, and windows do not stay open forever. Opportunities aligned with freedom move quickly, and hesitation can delay what is ready now. Have you recently felt a push to act, apply, speak, or move even though logic told you to wait? This is your confirmation. My child, I am not rushing you, I am aligning you, and alignment often feels like pressure before it feels like flow. Can you trust me through that transition? Don't look away, because now I am addressing your past directly, the shame, the regret, the moments you replayed wishing you had chosen differently. Do you still carry echoes of those moments in quiet hours? I am telling you now, they no longer define your trajectory, and what is ahead will redeem what felt wasted. Type redeemed if you are ready to release self-blame. Listen carefully, chosen one, because restoration does not always look like getting back what you lost. Sometimes it looks like receiving what you never thought possible. Can you allow your imagination to stretch beyond what you have known? This is where faith expands. I see a shift in how you speak about yourself, a new confidence forming even if you have not named it yet. Have you caught yourself thinking differently lately, less harshly, more hopeful? That is evidence of renewal. Stay alert, because the next sign will come unexpectedly, through a conversation, a message, or a sudden opening that seems small but carries weight. Will you recognize it when it appears? Type 1 Am ready if you choose awareness over distraction. My beloved, everything is aligning faster now, and what I am about to reveal next will explain why timing matters so much in the coming days, and if you stay with me, you will not miss it, because what happens next will shock you. And as that shock begins to approach, I need you to slow your breathing and sharpen your focus, because what unfolds now is subtle yet powerful, and missing it would mean misunderstanding the very freedom you just stepped into. Do you feel that quiet stillness settling over you right now? Listen carefully, my child, because after deliverance comes recalibration, and this is where many become impatient, expecting instant fireworks instead of internal order. Have you felt moments of silence where nothing seems to be happening but everything feels different? That silence is not emptiness, it is alignment settling into place. Don't skip this, because I am explaining why things may seem calm before they suddenly accelerate. My beloved, when a curse is removed, the spirit needs time to remember how to move without resistance, and that is why rest is being invited into your life. Have you been feeling unusually tired or drawn to stillness lately? That is not weakness, that is recovery. Type rest if you give yourself permission to pause without guilt. I must reveal another layer now, and this one touches your emotions deeply. You were forced to mature early, to carry burdens that were never meant for you, and that survival strength became your identity. Do you recognize how strong you became out of necessity? But hear me clearly, strength born from survival is now giving way to strength born from support, and that shift can feel unsettling. Can you allow yourself to be held instead of always holding everything together? Listen carefully, because this is where healing becomes tangible. I am warning you gently. The urge to return to old coping patterns may surface, not because you are failing, but because your system is learning something new. Have you noticed old habits trying to resurface even though you no longer need them? Awareness will break that loop. Type 1. Choose new if you are ready to respond differently. My child, I am placing another hook before you, because soon you will be tested not by hardship but by opportunity, and opportunity tests character more than pain ever did. Are you prepared to say yes without shrinking, to receive without explaining, to step forward without apology? Don't look away, because this is where destiny begins to feel real. I see your perception shifting, your intuition becoming clearer, your reactions calmer. Have you noticed how things that once triggered you no longer have the same power? That is freedom manifesting. Type free if you feel lighter than you did before. Listen carefully, chosen one, because now discernment will be needed more than effort, and not every open door is meant for you. Some are distractions dressed as blessings. Do you trust yourself enough to wait for the right one? I am guiding you, even when it feels quiet. Another interruption comes now, because the next phase will require courage in a different form, the courage to believe that good things can last. Have you secretly feared that happiness would be temporary? I am telling you now, stability is allowed. Let that truth sink in. My beloved, what I am preparing you for will not look like your past victories. It will be gentler, deeper, and more sustainable, and that difference may surprise you. Can you embrace a future that does not require constant struggle? Stay with me, because the revelation that comes next will expose why this moment matters more than you realize, and everything is about to change. And as everything begins to shift beneath the surface, I need you to stay completely aware, because this is the point where destiny quietly rearranges priorities, and many miss it because it does not arrive with noise. Do you feel that sense of something important settling into place right now? Listen carefully, my child, because I am about to explain why certain desires have started changing inside you, why what once felt urgent no longer controls you the same way. Have you noticed yourself wanting different things lately without fully understanding why? That is alignment rewriting your appetite. Don't skip this, because when desires change, direction follows, and direction determines outcomes. My beloved, I am removing the urgency that came from lack and replacing it with intention rooted in abundance, and that transition can feel confusing at first. Can you feel the difference between chasing and choosing? Type 1. Choose if you are ready to move with clarity instead of desperation. I must interrupt you again with truth, because the next test will not come as a problem but as an invitation, an offer that looks good but feels slightly off. Have you ever sensed something appealing yet unsettling at the same time? That feeling is discernment speaking louder now. Listen carefully, chosen one, because saying no to the wrong good thing makes room for the right great thing, and I need you to trust that restraint is also progress. Do you believe that waiting can be an act of faith? Type 1. Trust if you feel guided rather than rushed. My child, I see old wounds losing their voice, memories no longer controlling your reactions, and this is why your responses are changing. Have you surprised yourself lately by staying calm where you once would have reacted? That is healing revealing itself. Don't look away, because I am showing you evidence so you do not doubt what I am doing. I must reveal something gently now. Freedom does not mean life becomes perfect, it means challenges no longer define you, and you will face moments that test your confidence in this new season. Have you wondered whether you can really sustain this peace? I am telling you now, you can. Type 1. Receive peace if you are ready to stop questioning stability. Listen carefully, my beloved, because soon you will be asked to step into a role you once felt unqualified for, and the old voice will try to remind you of past failures. Do you recognize that voice when it speaks? That voice no longer has authority. I chose you knowing your history, not in spite of it. Let that truth settle deep. Another interruption comes now, because timing matters, and the next few decisions will shape the ease or resistance of the coming months. Are you paying attention to how often guidance is showing up in small ways? This is not random. Type guided if you feel led even when the path is unfamiliar. My child, I am strengthening your inner yes and your inner no, and both are equally important, because boundaries protect blessings. Have you begun valuing your peace more than approval? That is growth. Stay alert, because the final layer of this revelation is approaching, and it will explain why you had to go through what you did to arrive here, and when you hear it, everything will make sense, because what I am about to reveal next will change how you see your entire journey. And as your entire journey begins to reframe itself in your spirit, I need you to stay with me just a little longer, because this final unveiling carries weight, and many feel it before they understand it. Do you feel that deep emotional pull in your chest right now? Listen carefully, my child, because the reason you endured what you did was never punishment, it was preparation layered with protection, and only now could you see it without pain distorting the truth. Have you ever wondered why you survived things that should have broken you? That endurance was evidence of calling, not coincidence. Don't skip this, because I am about to connect every broken piece into one clear picture. My beloved, every delay trained discernment, every closed door redirected timing, every heartbreak refined your capacity to carry what is coming. Can you see now that nothing was wasted? Type nothing wasted if this truth is settling into your heart. I must interrupt you again, because awareness is expanding rapidly now, and with expansion comes responsibility. You are no longer meant to tolerate what drains you or chase what diminishes you. Have you felt a stronger inner refusal toward what once felt normal? That is authority awakening. Listen carefully, chosen one, because the blessing that follows freedom requires stewardship, not struggle, and you are being trusted with more because you can finally hold it without fear. Do you believe you are ready for that level of trust? Type 1. I'm ready if your spirit agrees, even if your mind is catching up. My child, I see your future forming differently than you imagined, quieter, steadier, more deeply fulfilling, and that may challenge old fantasies of success rooted in survival. Have you noticed your definition of happiness changing? That is wisdom maturing. Don't look away, because now comes the most important truth of all. The curse that was removed was never stronger than you. It lingered only because timing had not yet aligned, and now that alignment is complete, acceleration will follow naturally. Can you feel anticipation rising without anxiety attached to it? That is the sign you are truly free. Listen carefully, my beloved, because soon you will witness confirmation in the physical world, something tangible that validates everything spoken here, and when it happens, you will remember this moment clearly. Will you recognize it as confirmation instead of coincidence? Type 1 will remember if you choose faith over doubt. I am placing one final interruption before you, because the next step requires courage of belief, not effort, and belief is the doorway miracles pass through. Do you believe that good things can arrive without chaos now? Let that belief take root. My child, I have walked you to this threshold intentionally, and what stands on the other side is not what you expect but far greater than what you asked for, and I will not reveal it yet, because anticipation sharpens gratitude. So stay with me, remain aware, and do not rush ahead of grace, because what happens next will shock you. And that shock is closer than you realize, my child, which is why your spirit has been restless in a quiet way, not anxious but alert. Do you feel that heightened awareness stirring inside you right now? Listen carefully, because this is the phase where manifestation moves from the unseen into the visible, and when that shift happens, reality begins to test belief. Have you ever noticed how right before something appears, doubt tries one last time to speak? Don't skip this, because I am teaching you how to stand when evidence has not yet fully arrived but alignment already has. My beloved, the reason you are sensing anticipation without fear is because your spirit knows what your mind is still learning, and I am asking you to trust that inner knowing. Can you feel how your intuition feels stronger than your worry lately? Type 1. Trust my spirit if you feel that internal authority growing. I must interrupt again with urgency, because something you have waited a long time for is preparing to move suddenly, and sudden movement can feel destabilizing if you are not prepared. Have you been sensing that change may come faster than you expected? This is your warning and your reassurance at the same time. Listen carefully, chosen one, because when blessing accelerates, timing matters, and hesitation can create unnecessary delay. Are you ready to act when clarity comes instead of overthinking it? Type 1 will move if you are willing to respond instead of retreat. My child, I am revealing now why patience was required for so long. What is coming carries weight, influence, and responsibility, and receiving it too early would have overwhelmed you. Have you noticed how much stronger and calmer you are now compared to who you were before? That growth was essential. Don't look away, because I am also showing you a subtle shift. Certain people will naturally fall out of alignment as you rise, not through conflict but through distance. Have you already sensed connections fading without drama? That is separation without sorrow. Listen carefully, my beloved, because release does not always look like loss. Sometimes it looks like peace where tension used to be. Can you accept that not everyone is meant to go where you are going? Type 1 release if you are ready to bless what leaves without chasing it. Another interruption comes now, because confirmation will arrive in layers, not all at once. A conversation, an opportunity, a result, a sudden solution. Have you committed to paying attention to small confirmations instead of waiting for one dramatic moment? Awareness multiplies evidence. My child, I am steadying your heart now because excitement can turn into impatience if not grounded, and impatience tries to control what faith is meant to receive. Have you felt the urge to rush what you know is coming? Breathe and trust the pace I am setting. Type 1 wait with faith if peace is replacing urgency. Listen carefully, because the final confirmation will arrive when you least expect it, not during striving but during rest, and that timing will matter deeply. Will you allow yourself to rest without feeling guilty? This is where belief matures into trust. My beloved, the reason I have not revealed every detail is because surprise is part of the gift, and knowing too much too soon would dull the impact. So stay watchful, stay grounded, and stay open, because the moment you step into next will feel unreal at first, and when it happens, you will understand why everything unfolded exactly this way, because what happens next will shock you. And when that moment begins to touch your reality, you may question whether you are imagining it, which is why I am speaking now, my child, to anchor you before the shift fully lands. Do you feel that subtle sense of unfamiliar peace mixed with expectation? Listen carefully, because this stage often feels unreal, as if life is pausing just long enough for destiny to catch up, and many misinterpret this pause as delay. Have you wondered why things feel quiet right before movement? Don't skip this, because silence is not absence, it is focus. My beloved, what is unfolding now is alignment locking into place, and once it locks, momentum follows naturally. Have you noticed small things resolving themselves without effort lately? That is evidence forming. I must interrupt you again, because the blessing approaching you will challenge your old identity. The version of you that learned to survive will have to make room for the version of you that is allowed to receive. Does receiving still feel uncomfortable sometimes? That awareness matters. Type 1 allow if you are ready to accept good without justification. Listen carefully, chosen one, because soon you will be presented with a moment that tests belief, not through hardship but through goodness, and goodness can feel suspicious when you have known struggle for so long. Have you caught yourself waiting for something to go wrong even when things feel right? That pattern is dissolving now. Don't look away, because I am replacing anticipation of loss with expectation of continuity. Can you imagine good things staying instead of leaving? Let that vision settle gently. My child, I see your confidence rebuilding from the inside, quieter but stronger, less performative and more grounded. Have you noticed you no longer feel the need to prove yourself the way you once did? That is healing completing its cycle. Type grounded if you feel steadier in who you are. Another interruption comes now, because timing is tightening, and the next sign will require courage to acknowledge. It may come through someone else recognizing your value before you do. Will you accept validation without deflecting it? This matters more than you think. Listen carefully, my beloved, because acknowledgement is a doorway, and walking through it requires humility as much as faith. Have you practiced saying thank you instead of explaining yourself lately? That is growth. Don't skip this, because what is approaching will expand your influence, not for ego but for impact, and impact requires presence. Are you ready to be seen without shrinking? Type 1 step forward if you choose courage over comfort. My child, the alignment happening now is irreversible, and even if fear whispers, it no longer has authority. Do you feel that quiet certainty beneath the noise? That certainty is truth settling in. Stay alert, because the final unfolding will come at an unexpected time, when you are not striving but simply being, and when it arrives, you will realize this entire journey was preparing you for that exact second, and when it happens, everything you thought you knew will be redefined, because the truth I haven't revealed yet will change everything. And as that truth begins to hover just beyond your understanding, I need you to stay fully present, my child, because what unfolds now is delicate and powerful at the same time, and distraction would blur what is meant to be seen clearly. Do you feel that quiet intensity in your spirit right now? Listen carefully, because the moment you are approaching is not loud, it is precise, and precision requires awareness. Have you noticed how your attention has been narrowing lately, less scattered, more intentional? That is preparation. Don't skip this, because I am explaining why timing feels different now, why days feel heavier with meaning, and why small decisions feel unusually significant. Have you sensed that lately? My beloved, when destiny draws near, the spirit becomes alert before the mind understands, and that is why you may feel both calm and expectant at the same time. Can you recognize that balance within you? Type 1. Am aware if you feel more present than you used to be. I must interrupt again, because there is a truth you need before the final confirmation arrives. What is coming will not only bless you, it will reposition you, and repositioning changes how others see you and how you see yourself. Are you ready for your role to expand? Listen carefully, chosen one, because expansion often brings visibility, and visibility can feel vulnerable if you are used to hiding your strength. Have you noticed an urge to downplay your growth even now? That urge no longer serves you. Don't look away, because I am releasing permission into your spirit to take up space without guilt. Can you allow yourself to be recognized without shrinking? Type 1. Accept if you are ready to stand fully in who you are becoming. My child, I am also preparing you for something subtle. Not everyone will celebrate your next step, not because they wish you harm, but because your growth will highlight where they chose to stay comfortable. Have you already sensed mixed reactions from others when you speak with new clarity? That is not your burden. Listen carefully, my beloved, because compassion does not require self-sacrifice, and boundaries will protect what is unfolding now. Are you learning to say less and observe more? That wisdom is arriving right on time. Another interruption comes now, because confirmation will arrive through alignment, not explanation. You will simply know that you are in the right place at the right moment. Have you experienced flashes of that certainty recently? Those flashes will soon become steady. Don't skip this, because the final shift requires trust in what you feel even before you see proof. Can you trust your inner knowing without external validation? Type 1. Trust within if that resonates. My child, everything you endured trained you for discernment, and discernment is what will guide you through what comes next. Not effort, not striving, just clarity, and clarity is now your inheritance. Stay with me, because the final moment is drawing near, and when it arrives, it will not ask for permission, it will simply unfold, and when it does, you will understand why this message reached you exactly when it did, because what happens next will shock you. And as that unfolding draws so near you can almost sense it breathing against your present moment, I need you to remain completely open, my child, because this is where many feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of what is about to occur. Do you feel that mixture of awe and hesitation rising inside you right now? Listen carefully, because what is coming will not arrive as a test of endurance but as a test of belief, and belief feels different when it is finally rewarded. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to believe during struggle but how challenging it can be to believe during peace? Don't skip this, because I am preparing you to receive without shrinking. My beloved, the reason your spirit feels stretched is because you are stepping into a reality larger than the one you adapted to, and expansion always requires release. Can you feel old limitations loosening their grip on how you see yourself? Type 1. Expand if you are willing to think beyond what once felt safe. I must interrupt again, because something you prayed for in desperation long ago is about to return in a different form, refined, protected, and aligned. Have you felt a memory resurfacing recently that you thought you had buried? That resurfacing is not to reopen pain, it is to show you how far you have come. Listen carefully, chosen one, because when the answer finally comes, it will arrive quietly, without announcement, and those who are distracted will miss it. Are you prepared to recognize fulfillment even if it does not look dramatic? Don't look away, because this is where gratitude becomes power. My child, I am also shifting how you interpret success, no longer through comparison or urgency, but through peace and sustainability. Have you noticed that what excites you now feels calmer than what excited you before? That is maturity anchoring joy. Type settled if you feel that inner steadiness forming. Another interruption comes now, because your next step will require courage to trust momentum, not control it, and control has been your shield for a long time, hasn't it? Can you loosen that grip without fear? Listen carefully, my beloved, because I am guiding you into a flow that does not require force, and the moment you stop bracing for impact is the moment movement becomes effortless. Do you feel yourself learning to trust the process instead of resisting it? Don't skip this, because what follows will build quickly once it begins. My child, the final confirmation will align multiple areas of your life at once, not just one, and that convergence will feel surreal at first. Have you imagined what it would feel like for things to work together instead of against you? Hold that image gently. Type aligned if your spirit recognizes this truth. Stay alert now, because what I am about to reveal next explains why this convergence is so precise and why it could only happen now and not before, and when you hear it, the entire timeline of your life will suddenly make sense, because the final truth I am about to unveil will change how you see everything you have ever endured. And as that unveiling presses closer, I need you to steady your heart, my child, because this truth does not come to overwhelm you but to liberate you completely. Do you feel that deep stillness forming beneath the anticipation right now? Listen carefully, because the reason everything had to unfold exactly when it did is because you were not just being prepared to receive a blessing, you were being prepared to sustain it. Have you ever wondered why what you asked for years ago would have crushed the version of you back then? Don't skip this, because this is where compassion for your own past finally replaces judgment. My beloved, timing protected you from receiving too much too soon, and now that protection has transformed into provision, can you see how delay was mercy in disguise? Type 1 understand if clarity is settling into your spirit. I must interrupt again, because there is a shift happening in how you perceive authority. You are no longer waiting for permission to be who you are becoming. Have you noticed yourself trusting your decisions more without needing approval? That confidence is not arrogance, it is alignment. Listen carefully, chosen one, because what comes next will require you to stand firm in that authority even when circumstances test it. Are you ready to remain grounded when momentum increases? Don't look away, because the blessing will amplify whatever foundation it lands on, and your foundation is now stable. My child, I see you beginning to release old narratives about who you are allowed to be, narratives shaped by limitation, criticism, or survival. Have you caught yourself questioning beliefs you once accepted as truth? That questioning is freedom thinking aloud. Type 1 release old stories if you are ready to define yourself anew. Another interruption comes now, because the final alignment will not arrive through effort but through recognition. You will recognize the moment because it will feel inevitable, not forced. Have you ever experienced something clicking into place so naturally that it felt pre-written? That is what is approaching. Listen carefully, my beloved, because when it happens, you may feel a sudden wave of gratitude mixed with disbelief, and disbelief does not mean doubt. It means you are witnessing something beyond what you planned for. Can you allow yourself to be surprised by goodness? Don't skip this, because the ability to receive surprise is part of faith maturing. My child, everything you endured sharpened your awareness so you would not miss this moment, and now awareness is your greatest ally. Are you noticing how present you feel right now, less pulled by the past or the future? That presence is power. Type present if you feel anchored in this moment. Stay alert, because the final transition will come quietly, almost gently, and if you rush past it, you may overlook its magnitude, but if you remain with me, you will recognize it instantly, and when it arrives, there will be no question left unanswered, because what happens next will shock you. And as that shock hovers at the edge of your awareness, I need you to breathe and stay grounded, my child, because this is where truth settles into certainty and certainty begins to shape reality. Do you feel that quiet confidence replacing anticipation right now? Listen carefully, because what you are stepping into is not a dramatic escape but a grounded arrival. An arrival often feels calm before it feels celebratory. Have you noticed how your heart feels steadier even as expectation remains? Don't skip this, because steadiness is the sign that fear has lost its authority. My beloved, the final truth I am releasing now is simple yet powerful. The blessing that is coming is aligned with who you have become, not who you used to be, and that is why it will fit without strain. Can you feel how you no longer need to become someone else to receive what is next? Type 1M enough if that realization is landing in your spirit. I must interrupt again with urgency, because you are about to witness a moment where old assumptions collapse. Something you believed was impossible will reveal itself as simply mistimed. Have you ever labeled something as never when it was really just not yet? That correction is happening now. Listen carefully, chosen one, because when that moment arrives, your first reaction may be disbelief followed by peace, not excitement followed by fear, and that order matters. Are you ready to trust peace as confirmation? Don't look away, because I am also preparing you for integration. After the breakthrough, life will continue, but you will continue differently. Have you imagined what it feels like to move forward without dragging old weight behind you? Let that image settle. My child, I see you beginning to protect your joy intentionally, choosing what nourishes you and releasing what drains you. Have you noticed how selective you have become with your energy? That selectivity is wisdom. Type 1 Protect my peace if you are honoring that boundary. Another interruption comes now, because gratitude will be your anchor when everything begins to align quickly. Gratitude keeps the heart open and the mind clear. Are you practicing thankfulness even before everything manifests? That practice accelerates fulfillment. Listen carefully, my beloved, because the final confirmation will arrive through simplicity, not complexity. One clear moment, one undeniable alignment, one quiet yes from your spirit. Will you recognize simplicity as divine instead of overlooking it? Don't skip this, because many miss miracles by expecting spectacle. My child, what stands ahead of you is sustainable joy, not fleeting relief, and sustainable joy changes how you plan, how you love, how you rest. Can you allow yourself to believe that peace can be permanent? Type 1 Believe if hope feels steady rather than fragile. Stay with me now, because the very next shift will move from promise into experience, and when it does, there will be no need to convince you of anything. You will simply know, and that knowing will rewrite your expectations forever, because everything is about to change. And as that change begins to ripple through your reality, I need you to stay fully aware, my child, because this is where promise crosses into embodiment, and embodiment feels different than expectation. Do you feel that subtle sense of arrival even though nothing dramatic has announced itself yet? Listen carefully, because this stage often feels deceptively ordinary, and many overlook it thinking the miracle must feel louder. Have you noticed how peace is showing up in small, consistent ways rather than one overwhelming moment? Don't skip this, because consistency is the signature of what is real. My beloved, the reason everything feels calmer is because struggle is no longer the engine driving your life. alignment is, and alignment does not shout, it settles. Can you sense how your decisions are becoming clearer without force? Type 1. See clearly if clarity feels natural rather than strained. I must interrupt again, because something significant is shifting in how you relate to time. Urgency is loosening its grip, patience feels less like waiting and more like trusting. Have you noticed that you are no longer counting the days the way you once did? That is freedom changing your rhythm. Listen carefully, chosen one, because the next confirmation will come through stability, not surprise, something holding steady where it once fluctuated. Have you already seen an area of your life becoming more consistent? That consistency is evidence. Don't look away, because I am also healing how you respond to uncertainty. Uncertainty no longer triggers fear but curiosity. Have you felt yourself asking what if with hope instead of dread? That is transformation at work. My child, I see you stepping into a quieter confidence, less concerned with proving outcomes and more focused on honoring alignment. Have you felt less reactive lately, more intentional in how you respond? Type intentional if that resonates. Another interruption comes now, because the blessing you are stepping into will invite responsibility, not pressure, and responsibility feels different when it is chosen rather than forced. Are you ready to steward what is coming without losing yourself? Listen carefully, my beloved, because you will soon recognize that the curse being removed did more than unblock blessings. It restored trust in yourself, and self-trust is the foundation everything else stands on. Have you noticed how you believe yourself more now? Don't skip this, because this self-trust will guide your next major step. My child, the unfolding ahead will feel natural in hindsight, but right now it may still feel unreal, and that is okay. You do not need to rush understanding, only presence. Can you remain present without demanding answers? Type 1. Remain present if you choose awareness over control. Stay alert now, because the next movement will not ask loudly for your attention, it will simply appear, and your response will determine how smoothly everything flows forward. And if you stay with me, you will recognize it instantly, because what happens next will shock you. And as that next movement begins to emerge quietly into your awareness, I need you to stay completely attentive, my child, because this is where subtlety becomes sacred and discernment becomes your greatest ally. Do you feel that gentle pull inward asking you to slow down and notice more? Listen carefully, because what is unfolding now does not demand effort, it requires recognition, and recognition only comes to those who are present. Have you noticed how easily distractions fall away when something truly aligned approaches? Don't skip this, because I am revealing how your attention itself has become refined. My beloved, there is a reason your tolerance for chaos has diminished. You are no longer wired to survive disorder, you are designed now to cultivate peace. Can you feel how certain environments or conversations drain you faster than before? That is alignment rejecting what no longer fits. Type 1. Choose peace if you feel that boundary forming naturally. I must interrupt again with urgency, because the next decision you make, even if it seems small, will carry unusual weight, not because of pressure but because of timing. Have you sensed that your choices feel more consequential lately? This is not anxiety. This is awareness sharpening. Listen carefully, chosen one, because when alignment is active, even minor shifts create major outcomes, and hesitation can echo longer than action. Are you ready to trust yourself without overanalyzing every step? Don't look away, because confidence is being restored at a deeper level now. My child, I see something else changing. The way you interpret resistance. When something does not flow, you no longer force it, you pause. have you noticed how restraint feels wiser than persistence in certain moments? That is maturity guiding you. Type wisdom if you feel led to wait rather than push. Another interruption comes now, because the blessing approaching you will arrive with simplicity, and simplicity can feel almost anticlimactic when you are used to struggle. Have you ever expected difficulty only to find ease instead? That contrast may surprise you. Listen carefully, my beloved, because ease is not laziness, it is alignment functioning correctly, and you no longer need to justify it. Don't skip this, because I am dismantling the belief that goodness must be earned through exhaustion. My child, there is a quiet joy beginning to surface, not excitement that spikes and fades, but contentment that settles and stays. Have you felt moments of gratitude without a clear reason lately? That is your spirit recognizing arrival before your mind names it. Type grateful if that resonates. Stay alert now, because the final unfolding will not announce itself in advance. It will meet you in an ordinary moment and reveal itself through extraordinary clarity, and when it does, you will suddenly understand why every delay, every detour, every hidden battle was necessary, and that realization will change how you see everything from this point forward, because what happens next will shock you. And as that realization begins to echo through your awareness, I need you to remain still inside, my child, because this is where understanding deepens into knowing, and knowing changes how you move through everything that follows. Do you feel that calm certainty beginning to anchor itself in you right now? Listen carefully, because this is the moment when many finally recognize that they are no longer chasing a future, they are stepping into it. Have you noticed how your prayers feel less desperate and more conversational lately? Don't skip this, because that shift reveals relationship, not distance. My beloved, what you are experiencing now is internal confirmation, and internal confirmation always arrives before external evidence. Can you trust what is forming within you even before the world reflects it back? Type 1. Trust what is within if that resonates. I must interrupt again, because the next stage will require gentleness with yourself, not discipline, and gentleness may feel unfamiliar after years of self-correction. Have you noticed how harsh self-talk no longer feels natural to you? That is healing rewriting your inner language. Listen carefully, chosen one, because compassion toward yourself will accelerate what is coming faster than pressure ever could. Are you willing to treat yourself as someone worthy of patience? Don't look away, because this compassion is part of the blessing, not a distraction from it. My child, I see your relationship with expectation changing. You are no longer bracing for disappointment, you are allowing space for surprise. Have you felt moments where you caught yourself smiling without a reason? That is hope resurfacing gently. Type 1. Allow joy if you feel that openness returning. Another interruption comes now, because something you once believed you had missed forever is circling back in a new form, and recognizing it will require humility, not regret. Have you sensed familiarity in something recent that also feels new? That overlap is intentional. Listen carefully, my beloved, because redemption does not always restore what was lost. Sometimes it transforms it into something better suited for who you are now. Can you accept improvement without mourning the past? Don't skip this, because acceptance unlocks flow. My child, your discernment is now strong enough to protect your peace without isolating your heart. Have you noticed how you can say no without feeling guilty and yes without fear? That balance is freedom in action. Type balanced if that truth lands. Stay alert now, because the final movement will not require preparation, it will require recognition, and recognition comes to those who are present, grounded, and willing to receive without explanation, and when that moment arrives, it will feel both completely unexpected and completely right, and you will understand that everything until now was simply leading you here, because what happens next will shock you. And as you arrive at this threshold with that quiet recognition settling in your spirit, I need you to stay deeply attentive, my child, because this is where alignment turns into activation, and activation feels subtle before it feels powerful. Do you sense that readiness humming beneath the calm right now? Listen carefully, because what is beginning to move through you is not urgency but permission, permission to live without the constant need to explain or defend your path. Have you noticed how you care less about convincing others and more about honoring what feels true? Don't skip this, because that shift marks maturity stepping fully into place. My beloved, the reason you feel steadier is because your identity is no longer built around what you survived but around what you are becoming. Can you feel how the past has loosened its grip on your self-definition? Type 1 I'm becoming if that resonates with what you feel inside. I must interrupt again, because the next sign will arrive through ease, not effort, something working smoothly where it once required constant correction. Have you already noticed one area flowing with less resistance than before? That is not luck, that is alignment confirming itself. Listen carefully, chosen one, because your role is changing from fixer to steward, and stewardship requires presence more than pressure. Are you ready to care for what is growing without controlling it? Don't look away, because this is where trust deepens into wisdom. My child, I am also healing how you respond to success. Success will no longer trigger fear of loss or the need to brace for impact. Have you felt yourself relaxing even when things go well? That relaxation is proof of freedom integrating fully. Type 1 I'm safe if your body feels calmer than it used to. Another interruption comes now, because what is coming will ask you to remain open even when logic cannot explain the timing. Have you learned to trust alignment even when the schedule surprises you? Listen carefully, my beloved, because miracles often arrive disguised as simple next steps, and those who wait for spectacle sometimes miss divine precision. Will you honor the small yes when it appears? Don't skip this, because obedience in simplicity unlocks momentum. My child, the peace you feel now is not the end of the journey, it is the foundation for what is next, and what is next will expand your life in ways that feel both grounding and exhilarating. Can you imagine growth without chaos? Type 1 welcome growth if your spirit is open to that possibility. Stay alert now, because the final confirmation is approaching, and it will arrive not to impress you but to position you, and when it does, you will look back at every moment of waiting and realize it was all converging toward this exact alignment, and when that realization fully lands, you will know without any doubt that everything is about to change.